In this lesson, I'll focus on dividing rational numbers from 7th grade, Unit 5, Lesson 11. So let's go ahead and divide some signed numbers. Our only goal today is to be able to divide rational numbers. Hey, remember, you can rearrange division equations to be multiplication equations. For instance, if we practice a little bit, 10 divided by 2 equals 5, and you know that because 2 times 5 equals 10, or commutative property, 5 times 2 equals 10. So back in elementary school, we asked something like 24 divided by 3 equals what? And when you were figuring that out, you thought to yourself, well, 3 times what is 24? Or maybe what number times 3 is 24 to determine that the answer to 24 divided by 3 was 8. So how about with negatives? Does this still work? Yes, it absolutely does. If you're trying to figure out what 16 divided by negative 2 is, for instance, you can ask yourself, negative 2 times what number equals 16? So you learned before that you have to multiply a negative by a negative to get a positive number. And since 2 times 8 is 16, negative 2 times negative 8 is 16. So 16 divided by negative 2 must equal negative 8. Well, what if they're both negatives there? So we have something like negative 30 divided by negative 10 equals question mark. Again, you could ask yourself, negative 10 times what equals negative 30? Well, I start with a negative 10 and I'm trying to get an answer of negative 30. This time I need to multiply negative 10 by a positive to get a negative. So question mark equals 3. This can help you develop some rules. Because we know how to multiply signed numbers, that means we know how to divide them. So just looking at these simple examples, some with positives, some with negatives, if you create your fact families, and you can think about this every time, you're going to come up with some commonalities that happen over and over again. So I want to see if you've kind of figured it out already. Complete the sentences. A positive divided by a positive, that equals a positive. What about a positive divided by a negative? That always equals a negative. How about a negative divided by a positive? Again, that always equals a negative. And lastly, how about a negative divided by a negative? Well, that's a positive answer. So today, what we learned is that we can write a division problem as a multiplication problem. And also, the exact same rules that work for multiplication work for division. A positive divided by a negative is a negative divided by a positive is a negative, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive.